the second part of you. What the world? Hold on, y'all.
My wife is so bougie, her skin's always dewy.
This is what happens when you're watching TV on here. Okay, so anyways, I was watching this video. Besides the point. So back to it. What was I talking about? Hey, what's up, besties? It's Elaine Michelle, and I'm back with episode 3 of our Money Talk series that we're doing with our Teen Talk. And we're just getting a chance to talk to the teenagers and the teenager parents about things that they should be aware of as they're getting ready to transition from being a teen to an adult. Things that people probably don't tell you about from the beginning, but that you honestly should probably know. So if you're interested in learning about how to budget your refund check, then stay tuned. So today we're going to be talking about budgeting our refund checks. So there's lots of ways that you can do this, but honestly, like, you definitely just need to know what to be aware of, things that can come up, and that type of thing. So I'm just going to share with you how I manage my refund checks, like, the right way, because I have, you know, my story, I have my horror stories about why you shouldn't or whatever. But in the event that you do have a refund check that you won't have to pay back, or you absolutely need to have a refund check to survive, then these are some things that you can implement in order to help you make the most out of your refund check. So a lot of the things that we see or like we hear about is just getting back this abundance of money in a semester. You'll get back 2 refund checks, possibly 3 if you go to school in the summertime. But I ended up getting most of my refund checks. School will start in August. I would get my refund check in August, September-ish, depending on how they wanted to play with us. After your money hits and it disperses, then if you have it set up for direct deposit, it'll go right into your account. You also get another one in the spring semester, and that one usually would hit for me in December. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I don't know if they just like me or whatnot, but I don't know if they just wanted me to be in this predicament, but they used to always make sure that they hit us with our stuff in December and we were ready to go by the time we got back to school. And so I really enjoyed that. So let's say you get about $2,000 or $3,000 back for your student refund. Now, it seems like a lot of money. Trust me, I know it seems like a lot, but it's really not a lot of money if you have things to take care of. If you decide to stay off campus, this is about the only time I would say, like, using your student, like your financial aid, your student refund would actually make the most sense of not paying it towards something else, because you want to be able to take care of yourself. So if you're living off campus, you're responsible for your rent, your utilities, getting there, all of that stuff is going to be on you. So why not go ahead and plan and save for it? So the way that I did it is I would take my $3,000 and I would say, okay, so I know I have to pay my rent. My rent at the time was, I want to say, for a semester, I usually ended up paying, I want to say, I believe my rent, because I always split it with a roommate. Now, I had 2 different living situations. I'm looking up because I'm really trying to, like, backtrack on what it cost me to stay off campus. But I know it took me at least like $2,300. I'll say $2,200 for paying off my rent for the whole semester. So I used to just go ahead and write them that check for that rent and be done with it. Now, I also stayed in 2 types of apartments. I stayed in an apartment living, like, situation where it was like mostly college kids or whatever, and you paid for your room and that was it. Like, so somebody could move in with you if they wanted to, if they broke their lease or whatever, they could move in and put a random person in there. The very first one I had was a 3-bedroom, so 3 of us shared, and we all, like, split expenses between the groceries and all of that stuff. So that was one style of living that I had, which is really awesome, because a lot of those college made apartment complexes, they have those, like, shuttle buses and different things that will get you to and from school. That was definitely a bonus, just let me say that. And then they just had some other amenities and things that, like, were catered to our college kids. So that was all well and fine, but when I got a chance, I actually went to live in a townhome, and that townhouse was way cheaper and only cost me about maybe $1,600 for the whole entire semester. Again, a semester is September, October, November, and December, so 4 months. Let's do the math if I can find my phone. Let's do the math on what that was costing, because I remember that one. So let's do 1,600. Yeah, 1,600 divided by 4, so it was maybe about 1700. But anyways, divided by 4, it was no more than $500 a month. Okay, so that was staying in a townhome, so I was able to save more money. I lived further away from school though. Like, that was the thing, living in a townhouse was further away from school, but it was cheaper. I had a car, so it didn't matter. I would take my car, go park it at the stadium, ride the buses back or whatever. But I don't know how everyone's school works, so if you don't have a car, definitely look at someplace closer. If you do have one, whatever. So that's a whole nother thing we'll get into. But as far as budgeting, you need to budget for your rents. Like, that needs to be number one. If your rent is covered and that takes out your whole entire refund check, so be it, so fine, let it be, and keep it moving, okay, if you need it. So the next step that you would look into is making sure that you can pay your electricity bill. These again are your 4 walls all over again. Now, most of the time you can opt for a package for food. They still do like outside packages for food that you can incorporate. I don't know if they still do it now, but like, I could have gotten a meal plan and then just had it tacked onto the amount that it costs for my student living, and then they would have gave me that would have been additional refund back to go and pay for my food or whatever. But I didn't get a meal plan, but that's definitely an option if we go a little bit further and you realize that you don't have enough money. So paying your rent, paying your electricity, those are 2 things that you need to go ahead and use, and any other bill that may come. So what I would do is, I always paid my rent, I always paid up my MLG, well, not MLGW, we had AEP bill, and then I would also look at paying another bill that I may have had. So like Xfinity or whoever you have for your cable provider, this is a great time to pay them up in advance. Okay, don't worry about it, they will take your coin. Just make sure you tell them, I'm gonna go ahead and pay for my account for the next 4 months, just so I'm all caught up and I don't have to worry about it. Please don't send me a bill, or please continue to send me bills. That way I know what my balance is, and you can always check it. Like, depends on what type of billing person you are. You may not want one every month if you've already paid it, but you may want one just to make sure that your payments and stuff went through and that they are calculated and ain't adding no extra fees or nothing. That's a thing as well. So once you went ahead and you've gotten all that stuff calculated, you can see how much you can afford for your food. Now again, I had a job. I still recommend people get some sort of work steady. At my school, my work steady was actual cash. Some schools actually put it towards your bursar bill, however it works for you. But I really think that having some sort of cash flow or whatever is a good thing to have. You don't have to work a whole lot of hours, just enough to make sure that you can eat, put gas in your car, and all of that. Now, college campus jobs don't pay a whole lot, so don't think you're about to get like real rich. You're not. And then the hours are so sparing because of your classes. So you may have to take a job that only gives you 10 hours anyway, but then you're only available to work on weekends because of your class schedule. So you'll have to find what works for you, but make sure you get something that's going to be beneficial to you actually going to work. Like, I don't think it's a thing where you go to work and then you really aren't making even enough to show anything for it. That's what I mean by that. And I really think that that part is like really important. So once you get all that stuff taken care of, you can kind of start setting you a budget for your food and for any household expenses. One of the best things that I've asked for upon graduating was I needed toilet paper, I needed towels, I needed all that stuff. So I asked people to give that to me as gifts, and that way it trickled on and I had everything that I needed going forward. So definitely don't be afraid to add that stuff to your gift items. If someone says, hey, you're in college, what do you need? I need detergent, okay? I need stuff like that. That's definitely a way. But go ahead and start budgeting it out. This is when you'll start to see, like, for real, boo. This is when you start to see if you got a little side hustle in you or not. Like, I was the press out queen. Like, you could come to me and get your hair pressed out if you needed to while we were in school, and I was that girl. Like, that's what you came to me for. I would help people with anything that they needed. I also, again, I had like 4 different jobs while I was in school, so don't judge me. 3 of them at one time. I had 3 jobs at one time, and that was a whole thing, but I needed to get some things done. But so what I always tell people is to make sure that you are taking care of yourself and finding things that will work for you to help pay those extra bills, because you need to set money aside every month to make sure that you have your detergent, that you have your shampoo, that you have things like that. Everyone doesn't have a parent that they can call back home and say, I'm out of this and I need this. Everyone doesn't have a parent that says, come home and let me wash your clothes. We don't always have that. We have to get things done right away. So you just want to be making sure that you're becoming an adult, because after you get out of college, most of the time your parents just let you go. Like, they'll tell you come back, you know, until you get situated. But if you've already been learning that stuff and doing it on your own, it makes it so much easier when you get ready to step out, like, into the real world. So really making sure you hone in on those details of what it takes. So I know, like, a thing of detergent cost me $12. So I would put aside $12 every month to make sure that I had my Tide. I put aside $9 for Downy. Like, I put aside all of these things that I saw my mom using. And don't be afraid to ask your mom. Be like, Ma, how much does this cost? How much are you paying for this? Now is not the time to go to Walmart and get it, you know, like, what? This costs this much? I can't believe it. I'm not going to school. No, it's not that time. You need to know how much your tampons cost. You need to know how much your deodorant costs. You need to have all of that taken care of so that you know in a month's time, I need $50 a month, regardless. After my student refund has been used to pay my rent, to pay my electricity bill, those are already paid up. Not only do I need to make sure, some people may have a phone bill, cable bill, whatever, if it doesn't come with your apartment. I need to make sure all of this stuff is paid, but then I also have to take care of myself with my personal care items. That was something I saw people not doing. So if you know you aren't really gonna struggle with paying, like maybe your apartment is all inclusive, which my very first apartment was like that. So everything was all included in there, except for our cable. So I had to come out of pocket for cable stuff, but in my rent, everything was covered. So that gave me extra money to buy stuff with. Now, let's get into what you shouldn't do with your extra money, because I done told you all the things that you should do. Sit down, get the products that you're going to need, talk to your parents, go on the internet, find out how much this stuff costs, find out the tax prices in your area where you're going to be at, and then boom, make your list of things that you're going to use every month, things that have to be paid every month, and that's that. Okay, so the next thing with that is just making sure that you're spending your money wisely. So after you've paid your bills and you've got your plan together and you have enough that you can go ahead and stock up on all of your items that you may need, then you may see an extra bit of funds in there. If you got a nice size refund, you may see some extra funds in there. You're like, what should I do with it? Where should I go with it? How can I do this? So realistically, we probably should put it up. That's the advice that I should give you, and I would tell you 100%. Take that money, put it back to your awards, pay something on your student loan if you have a student loan. If you don't have student loans, by all means, take the money, it's yours. Put it in a savings account, do something bigger and better with it. If you need something, this is the time to get it. Like, if you need a computer, don't go out and buy the latest MacBook. You know, still be frugal with your coins, because you may need it for something else. Maybe a rainy day, you put your money aside in case your next refund doesn't come on time and your rent is due. Like, you need to have that money back somewhere for that. Let's say you want to go to spring break with your friends. You need a down payment, a deposit, whatever. You already have that all together. It's all about being smart with your money. You have to pay this money back, so be as smart as possible. I would much rather say that, like, when I came to Memphis with my laptop, and I had that laptop for even years afterwards that I had it while I was in school, and I was not about to give it up. Like, I had to. And I was like, no, I'm not giving up this laptop. It actually got stolen, but it was an investment for me. So that was something I look back on, like, I needed a new computer. My other one crashed. That's something that you find people doing, but you don't have to go and get the latest and greatest. And always make sure you check for discounts. If you're buying from Apple, they have a student discount, and Best Buy does too. And pretty much all of the places, they have student discounts. You just have to ask about them. Just saying. Okay, so that's my advice there. Make sure that you guys are spending wisely. Whatever it is that you decide to buy, can it be something that's going to last? Can it be an investment? Hey, invest the money. If it's something that you are thinking about investing in, like, I really wish, and I think I've told you guys this before, my teacher talked about the way that Twitter was going to blow up, and he bought stock in the Twitter. I had another teacher that talked about Amazon. I was introduced to Amazon when I was actually in school, and he said Amazon is going to be one of the next biggest things. Two different teachers. I worked in a telecom industry, so I had a lot of business professors and things like that. But those were some of the things that they shared, and I didn't have any knowledge of what investing meant or what it looked like. I just remember hearing them say that, and I never inquired more about it. And I wish I would have, and at least put something towards it. Like, I would have been able to pay off my schooling by now, right? So those are small things that you can start thinking about. It's time to invest in your future and not just invest in the now. Like, if I can give you advice, it'd be investing in future. So paying off your rent for the semester, things like that. That is so important to do. I cannot stress that enough. Do not just blow your student loan refund. Like, just please don't. you don't want to end up like me with a good job and you still paying somebody else, like, and you can't move forward for a while until you get your stuff together. Like, I promise you, that's just not where you want to be at. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe, and as always, hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any more of my videos. Head right over to Shay's video, which is going to be right over in here. Head over to her video, watch her, check her out, see what she did, because she had a couple of extra side hustles, baby. You probably want to find out how she managed any sort of refund that she got. I'm just saying, check my girl out. She over here chilling, got good advice for you. We'll catch you in the next one. Mwah! KK, bye!